I've got blue smoke on my location. Checking it out.
What are you doing there? Get that bloody leak fixed.
They're armed. I need backup.
It's a cop.
Get out now.
In which survivors must endure and conquer the open world to outlast the Wanderers. Alone, or with friends, you will be faced with many tough decisions which will impact the world around you. Whether you choose to challenge yourself in the non-linear story or go off the beaten path, you will need to evolve your character and playstyle to survive. Before the outbreak, Eden Nadir was a thriving community, populated by families and businesses, alive with commerce and industry. It now lies in ruins, but the people of Eden Nadir have not given up hope. Your transport will need to be repaired and maintained if you intend on mowing down hordes of wanderers. Within Eden Nadir, the undead will pose a constant threat. However, you shouldn't underestimate the living. Every type of character and creature you discover will have their own AI and will respond differently to your actions. To ensure your success, you will have to adapt your playstyle to each encounter. If violence ensues, valuable items or resources may be found on the Fallen, which can aid in your survival. Jaws of Extinction aims to make combat feel as realistic and immersive as possible. You'll be able to defend yourself unarmed, as well as using a wide range of guns and melee weapons. To avoid a kill-on-sight attitude in multiplayer, we will be incorporating an integrity system, which will affect how players and NPCs will respond to you. Those determined to prey on survivors and ransack villages will build a reputation and will be much less likely to be accepted into safe zones for recuperation or trading.
Making a demo is always a challenge, we know that by now. Our goal is to show as much diversity as possible, diversity of our gameplay features and cultural aspects as well. For these purposes, and also to introduce and explain our mechanics, we are creating a completely new quest line.
It's on the kind of job that you're offering.
My husband, Harry Evans, has disappeared.
It ties together our gameplay features as well as that Lovecraftian lore. At the same time, our concept artists and level modelers start working on the gameplay area. The quest is designed to take the player across different city districts: Rich, Poor, the Harbor Zone and the others. At first, the plan was to put together a small separate map just for GDC, but we quickly realized we didn't want to make something we would never use in the future. So we agreed that the quest should take place in the actual city. The problem is our full map is far from finished. It already has streets and buildings, but is lacking those small details that make a city feel alive. To negate that, we decided to border off the gameplay area and spice it up a little, add points of interest, vehicles, landmarks, and of course our monoliths. So now we have a more or less finished and polished part of the map that we can use in our final product. Things are going smoothly. Obviously, different bugs and glitches keep popping up like crazy. Sometimes the hero wears two hats, sometimes a floating object stop being floaty, and don't get me started on strange collisions. But we always manage to fix them in no time. However, there is one big problem that we have struggled to sort out for months: lighting. In our previous demo, we used static light maps and baked them into the textures. That was a difficult and resource-draining process, so in our game we eventually decided to switch to dynamic lighting. It works great, yet we still cannot pinpoint the right tone and colors that we want to use in the sinking city. To solve that problem, we reach out to professional photo artists in Kiev. They help our team find the right color scheme, inspired by the works of Caspar David Friedrich, James McNeill Whistler, Gregory Crutzen, and other prominent masters in their fields.
Your easel. Don't forget to take it when you leave. It must mean a great deal to you.
I see you're a painter. I'm quite partial to sandy beaches. This is splendid! It will be the prized piece of my sitting room.
If you haven't got lodging for the night, feel free to stay at the inn. I'll leave the upstairs room unlocked for you.
some of this?
How the hell am I? Hell yeah. Come and get it. Dinner time.
Drop him! Now! Or I'll kill him!
Do it. I'm not here for him. I'm here for you. Oh, God. Deke. Hi, Manny. Hey. So, do it. Yeah, he threw. Oh, come on. I wasn't gonna let him kill you. Besides, who the hell else around here knows how to rebuild a carburetor? Just back up. Nice and slow. Don't make a sound.
You got some money for me, boy? I've seen your name in our ledger.
You're a wanted man, Mr. Morgan.
Civilized.
You're the only one of these fools that I trust.
Where's our money?
Do you have my back?
Always, Dutch.
This will have you slaloming and jumping into swampy waters in tiny but highly responsive boats. As you might have guessed, this gameplay is a bit more challenging than the ones I've been introducing so far. The contests usually take place in a lush and pretty unpredictable environment, and it requires high-speed mastery as well as some freestyle abilities. This is one of the great things about having the whole USA as our open world. Every terrain is a perfect spot for specific disciplines, with its own ecosystem, road network, facilities, as well as some surprises.
Is that a Higgs field? That's actually really cool. Let's go. Did that just happen? Yeah.
I'm getting reports of a helicopter with a wrecking ball?
It's complicated. Turns out Martin Lee is running the demons.
The guy who runs the homeless shelter?
Like I said, complicated. Sit tight, Yuri. I got this. Please, I got this.
That helicopter...
Hi! Is this the flight to Newark? Why are you doing this?
Because no one else will!
Lee, this is crazy! This isn't you!
You don't know me!
Need a plan. Need a plan real fast. I guess this is the plan! Come on, Pete, you got this! You got this, you got this, you got this!
There's a few things you should know, so I'm gonna jump right into this video blog. So, what's different between Scum and other survival games when it comes to getting wet? Let me explain it by examining this sharp-dressed young man. The sweater's down, you can see that the same thing also happened to their hipster shirts. In the previous part of the video, you might have noticed that different parts of the clothing can absorb or retain different percentages of water. As in real life, some parts of the body can become wetter than others. In Scum, we handle wetness per body part along with separate layers of clothes that can have different wetness values also. This means that parts of your gear can be dry or wet depending on what you do. Body parts that are covered separately are feet, legs, torso, hands, and head. If you're standing in the water up to your waistline, then only your legs and feet will be wet. The rest of your body will stay dry. Also, if you jump into the water, your gear will almost instantly become fully wet, even if you have a raincoat or some other water-resistant clothing that isn't fully sealed. It will not help you to stay dry. The success formula here is, if you want to keep your gear dry, stay away from the bodies of water, or at least drop everything to the ground before you enter. In this section of the video, our guy has just practiced some swimming in the shallow waters, keeping his gear with him to protect it from thieves and bears. He did leave an old orange shirt on the beach in case he's gonna need some dry clothes later. Or at least, that's what we were thinking he was up to. However, his plan was much more sinister. We hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to follow Scum on Steam, Facebook, Twitter, and our
exosuit with gear that brings devastating power to combat.
Oh, there are a lot of scars down there. Oh, the scars have a heavy.
Time to use that mortar. Give me some covering fire. There's a bunch more coming in.
Okay, I'll get this round.
Thanks.
Oh, come on. Be something good. Oh, yes! Jar's Wrath.
Oh, nice.
Large-scale world events like Shaper Stories are dynamic and pull you off the beaten path with the promise of new stories to discover.
Oh, Shaper Storm incoming. Okay, actually, let's get some more people. Hold on a sec.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, what's happening?
I'm right behind you.
Trouble. That's why they don't know what the struggle is. I don't pay the cost, and they know the boss. Analyze my losses. Now I'm taking off. I'm a beast. Now I'm released. Ready to feast. Beast, not the least. I think they know what we want. Just to keep it 100. 0 to 100. So you have a opponent. Are you a beast? Are you released? You ready to feast? Or do you want peace? Not the least. Do you think you know?
With its heavily reinforced hull, our frigate swoops in to save the day, bearing the brunt of the damage.
Another day, another victim!
Speed, Mr. Mercy! Vamos con todo!
Our gang of pirates is now taking aim at the frigate, and it will take team coordination to take her down.
Fuego!
Hold tight, lads! That ship's badly damaged!
They're killing! We can take their ship!
With the enemy ship's broadside now vulnerable, our frigate rushes in to board her.
No quarter! Taste the blackened silver!
Fancy snorting some fish piss?
How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound?